it has become increasingly clear to me that you either die a hero or you live long enough to become the villain, or in the video game equivalent, you either just quit making video games or you live long enough to sell out and start becoming a crypto bro and completely ruining your legacy. And obviously we're talking now about Jake Song, the founder, the, granddaddy of MMOs in South Korea. This guy was there at the very beginning. While we had legends in the West, we had people like Richard Garriott making Ultima Online, some of the first, some of the biggest, some of the best, in my opinion, MMOs we ever got that shaped the industry going forward. This dude was over there in Korea doing the same thing. This guy, if you know anything about how South Korean gaming evolved, it would not be even remotely like what it is now. And obviously, some people are going to be like, lol, South Korean gaming's terrible anyway. It works for them. They like it. It is what it is. And he made great games. He had vision, he had drive, and he really saw something other people didn't. And he's responsible for some games that paved the way and also were very popular over there as franchises, such as Lineage. Obviously didn't do it alone, but this dude is a legend. And unfortunately, he spent many years doing what a lot of legends do, which is just be disappointed, just release things that don't do as good as you would have hoped that they did. And unfortunately, with this guy, I think Archeage was actually a good game. And you could see that this was a game created by somebody who really had like a mind for doing something other games were not doing. And Archeage is always going to be, it's going to go down in history for me as one of the most disappointing MMO projects, because it was just so criminally mismanaged and had so many small things go wrong and that were just never fixed. And for me, it will always be the what if MMO. What if Archeage would have been very slightly different hero there, if they'd paid a little bit more attention, if they just stuck with the initial vision, if it wasn't ruined by monetization, what could we have had now? What could Archeage be in 2025? Would this be one of the most popular MMOs? I think yes, because it just had so much going for it. But unfortunately, if you followed Archeage at all, you know that the game went from pillar to post, at least with Western publishers. I mean, the company in general, XL Games, the company that Jake Song founded, this game's been passed around to the point where it's now owned by Kakao Games. And Archeage was published in the West by some of the worst companies ever before XL Games came and took it back over. I mean, we've had whole eras of content surrounding Archeage and just the fumbling of the game from companies such as Tryon Worlds, and then moving into when Gamigo acquired Tryon Worlds, and how much of a fucking joke that was for so long, and how they constantly just lied to people and just did things that further diminished the game. And the problem is, this guy was in charge the whole time, all the time that the bad decisions were being made, that the game was being made into more and more of a theme park, taken away from the original vision that made the game good. And every opportunity that they had to pull this game out of a terminal nosedive, they just fucked it up. And it was this dude doing it, which, you can go either way. When you look at what Archeage could have been, what the foundation was, and then Archeage 2 gets announced, you think, maybe we give him the benefit of the doubt. Again, we hope against hope, because we're MMO fanboys, and we have to pray that something's going to do it. Something's going to come out and be the one again and occupy all our time and make us feel like we were, 13 again playing these games. Or, of course, a lot of the MMO fans are older people. But for me, I was a super young MMO player, so for me, that's the nostalgia. But no game's done it recently, and I was still hoping Archeage 2 was going to be this game. And maybe with this news it is, which brings us to the news. This guy has, a couple of years ago, I believe he stepped down as CEO of XL Games and said he was going to be focusing more on, development and other stuff. Archeage Crypto, there was an Archeage Crypto version that released that no fucker ever talked about or played, because, why would you? And then he's now left and he's sold out his legacy to go and work for a blockchain company. It's this dude's company, which is called Cross Protocol, and he posts something about, oh, the legend, he's coming to join us. How great is this? He's going to help us bring blockchain gaming to the rest of the world and blah, blah, blah. And I'm not a hater. You might disagree, but I'm not a hater. I think out of most people that are involved in like critique around games and MMOs and things, I'm probably one of the people that has the most open mind towards crypto stuff, because I am also involved in crypto stuff in terms of criticizing that. And I own cryptocurrency. I've done since like 2014. So, I know how this stuff works, at least to a degree that a lot of people don't. And I have an open mind in terms of, if you can show me something, even as a brief, give me a brief that makes a game sound good, where this stuff adds anything. There's a value add there that I can say, oh, this is actually good. This is a good implementation. People will like this. This will add something, and I'll look at it. And if you can show me that, I'll say, okay, cool. Let's see how the game is when it's done. The problem is, nobody can show me one of those things because it doesn't exist. It simply does not. Aside from the business model of have one of the most popular games ever and then have NFTs be cosmetics. In which case you can still ask and answer the question, well, why don't we just not use NFTs and we just use a traditional database instead? And then you go, oh, wait, yeah, you're right. Never mind then. And my argument, I guess, and some people's argument would be, oh, well, if we have this technology, it will be easy to raise the money for, developing the game, because a lot of VCs and things want to put money into these, and VCs are not putting money into gaming right now. So maybe we can just use these buzzwords to get the game made, and then wow, the game gets made. The problem being that systems like this only work when you have the most popular games ever. If Valve turned around tomorrow and said, okay, all our skins now that are on the Steam marketplace, that are just on our database, that go between your Steam accounts, well, now those are NFTs and we have the Valve blockchain, I'd be like, okay, that works. Unfortunately, now children are going to be using NFTs to gamble and probably be less traceable. So that's just going to be more multi-billion dollars worth of fraud and child gambling to deal with, which Valve never do, of course. But, it would work, right? People would adopt it. People would use it because it's Valve. People will do fucking whatever when Valve does it because it's Valve, right? Big Daddy Valve, Gabe Newell, everyone loves him, lost loads of weight. Congratulations, Gabe. But this is just the case, right? If you don't have the biggest games ever, if you're just making a game, when you tell me your business model is, we'll make a really popular game and we'll use this untested technology that all gamers hate, I'm like, you're done anyway. You're fucking done. You're not bringing the shit to the mainstream unless you somehow manage to make just a generational, once in a lifetime lightning in a bottle video game that makes all gamers forget that they hate crypto and blockchain. And when you introduce AI to the mix, you're basically just, when somebody says like, oh, I'm in AI and blockchain gaming, I just think you're either a scammer or it's just verbal diarrhea. You're just talking utter shite, because AI, blockchain, none of these games exist. Nobody are playing these things. They're just vehicles to manipulate stupid people to give you money. Prove me wrong. Link me one of these games. And again, I took flack when I played the shooter game. I can't remember what it's called. And I like that game. It's actually a mad fun game. I don't know if it's dead now at this point because I don't play those games for long periods of time. But I like that game. Was there a value add by having crypto and NFTs? Not really. It's a gimmick. It's something that, like, it's a little bit exciting if the things had value, but they don't, because if it's something you can just farm in a game, there's going to be loads of them and they're not worth shit, so who cares? But that being said, back to Jake Song. He was in charge of Archeage when they had the most opportunities to pull this game out of the dumps, to do something with the game, to not continue to do like, oh, it's a theme park game now. Oh, we don't care about the sandbox that we created and all these cool features people liked. Let's compete with World of Warcraft, even though we're worse than that game at what we're trying to do. This guy was in charge during all the worst decisions for the game. Yes, he made it, but he also broke the game and he completely ruined it and killed it himself. I still had hope that the guy who had the vision to make that game for what it was originally could make Archeage 2 the same thing. And one good step, I guess, is that he was there when Archeage 2 was foundationally being made, and maybe that leads to the game being good design-wise. And then somebody else takes over that doesn't just make every decision wrong every time and completely nosedive the game for over a decade until it completely fails. But it is really sad. I'd rather Legends just retire and move out of the industry, or go make indie games or something, you know, do something that's respectable instead of just shitting on their legacy completely. Because this cynically just looks like, okay, I'm done with making legit video games now. I'm just going to go get the bag from one of these dogshit blockchain companies, blockchain AI, of course, as well. Which, you know, fair enough, make your money and all that stuff, but this dude could have made money from doing practically anything. He could have been an advisor or worked at one of these other big MMO companies. I'm sure he would have had that opportunity, especially in the South Korean games industry, because the dude is a legend. But instead, now he goes to somewhere where probably no games are going to release, where he's not going to contribute to anything meaningful. I think I'm comfortable in saying that, but would love to be proven wrong, I guess. That being said, I have more hope. If this is what he was going to do after years of mismanaging Archeage, then fuck it. I have more hope for Archeage 2 now, even though the game's probably going to be absolutely ruined by monetization, because they always fucking are. Either way, that's Jake's song. Ruined one of the greatest MMOs, you know, potential-wise ever. But at least now we can't ruin Archeage 2. There'll have to be somebody else that'll you know, hold on to that responsibility, which almost certainly is going to happen. But we'll have to wait and see. I would say usually when somebody moves on to something, say best of luck. But no, there's no luck. There's no respect for this. This is the fucking retirement for legends in the video game industry. Oh, what? I've got like a huge name where everyone recognizes me and I'm, you know, one of the godfathers of the industry, or one specific genre. Oh, I know. I'll just go make crypto games now. Fuck everything about this. But there we go. Thanks for watching as always. Links in video description. Go check out GamerSups. Use my link, my discount code. You get a discount. I get money back off anything you spend. Patreon if you want to throw me a few dollars. Suggest some content on the social media. I'll see you next time. Peace.